What's up, Packers Nation? Victor here, and I need every real fan locked in right now, because what I'm about to break down could completely transform this defense in 2026. We're talking about two potential additions. One is a 26-year-old former Pro Bowl corner with rare size and elite athletic traits, a Super Bowl champion who could instantly upgrade our biggest weakness. The other, a future Hall of Fame pass rusher, a former Defensive Player of the Year, a guy who has terrorized quarterbacks for over a decade. And yes, both have been linked to Green Bay. Let's start with the secondary, because if we're being honest, that's where this team nearly unraveled last season. We finished 9-7-1, lost in the wildcard round. The defense had flashes of dominance, especially up front. But the boundary corners? Too many explosive plays. Too many third down conversions allowed. Too many moments where we couldn't close. Now imagine adding a 6'4", long, freakish athlete at corner. Someone who burst onto the scene as a rookie, earned Pro Bowl recognition early in his career, and still allowed just a 78. 5 passer rating when targeted last season, 8 pass breakups, 1 interception, only 26 years old. Here's the thing, he plays high-risk, high-reward football. He jumps routes, he hunts the ball, sometimes he gets burned, sometimes he changes the game. But when you've got Micah Parsons, Lucas Van Ness, and Devontae Wyatt collapsing the pocket, that aggressive style becomes dangerous for opposing quarterbacks. Projected contract? Around 3 years, roughly $15 million per season with $30 million guaranteed. That's not cheap. But it's not top-of-the-market corner money either. Now let's flip to the pass rush. Because even after trading for Parsons, who still led the team with 5 sacks and 12 tackles for loss, despite tearing his ACL in Week 15, the overall sack production wasn't elite. Green Bay finished tied for 20th in sacks with 36. That's not Super Bowl level pressure. And now there's buzz about pairing Parsons with a 34-year-old veteran who's already built a gold jacket resume. A former Defensive Player of the Year, a multi-time All-Pro, a player who still posted a 79, 2 overall PFF grade last season with a 13, 2% pass rush win rate. Even in 12 games, he recorded 23 pressures and 5 sacks. He's not a long-term answer. But imagine this. Parsons on one edge, a seasoned, relentless closer rotating in obvious passing downs. Van Ness continuing to develop. That's how you slam the door in January. His projected market value? Around $18 million, big number for a 34-year-old. But if the Packers are truly in win-now mode, after already shipping out 2 first-round picks for Parsons, then this kind of move makes sense. So here's the real question, Packers Nation. Do you add the young, high-ceiling corner that to stabilize the secondary for years? Do you bring in the veteran pass rush assassin to maximize this championship window, or do you trust what we have and protect cap space? Because make no mistake, these are aggressive statement-type moves, and this front office has already shown they're not afraid to be bold. If you're a real Packers fan and you believe this team should go all in while Jordan Love is entering his prime, smash that like button, subscribe to Packers Nation Report, and help us hit 2,000 subscribers. Only the true green and gold faithful are riding with us. Drop your take in the comments. Young lockdown corner, veteran sack artist, or both. Because if even one of these moves happens, the entire NFC is going to feel it. Packers Nation, I've got a question for you to start this first news. What if the Packers' biggest weakness could be fixed by a 26-year-old Super Bowl champion with elite traits and Pro Bowl upside? Yeah, we're talking about a real name here. Cornerback is the priority, period. The Green Bay Packers can say publicly they're comfortable with the room. General Manager Brian Gutekunst can say he likes the guys we have. But we all watched the games. Cornerback was a problem. Too many blown coverages, too many third down conversions allowed, too many explosive plays late in games. And in today's NFL, if you can't cover, you can't win in January. The name emerging Rick Woolen. According to A to Z Sports, the Packers are being mentioned as a landing spot for Rick Woolen, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. And this one is fascinating. Woolen exploded onto the scene as a rookie. Pro Bowl level play, ball production, elite physical tools. But in 2025, he was demoted, starting just 7 games despite playing in 16. That tells you something. He's a high-risk, high-reward player, and that's where the debate begins. Let's talk production. Last season, when targeted, Woolen allowed a 78, 5 passer rating, 8 pass breakups, 1 interception. For context, that passer rating allowed is significantly better than what our corners gave up last season. He's only 26 years old, he's durable, and he has rare physical traits, length, speed, explosiveness that you simply can't teach. That's exactly the type of player Gutekunst tends to bet on. Scheme fit in Green Bay. Now here's where I get excited. Think about the pass rush we have: Micah Parsons, Lucas Van Ness, Devontae Wyatt. If that front four generates consistent pressure, you want corners who attack the football. Woolen gambles, he jumps routes, he hunts turnovers, he plays with swagger. Yes, that can backfire. But when paired with a dominant pass rush, that aggressive style can create game-changing plays. And let's be honest, this defense could use more splash plays. The contract projection. Here's the part that really makes this realistic. PFF projects Woolen to land around 3 years $15 million per year, around $30 million guaranteed. In today's cornerback market, that is not outrageous. That's not reset the market money. That's bet on upside money. And for a 26-year-old former Pro Bowl level talent, I'd seriously consider that. The risk factor. Now let's not ignore the red flags. Woolen has been described as emotional. He gambles in coverage. Some defensive coordinators love that, others hate it. But here's my take as a fan. If you build your defense around fear of mistakes, you stay average. If you build it around controlled aggression, you become dangerous. With Parsons leading the charge up front, maybe Green Bay is finally in a position to embrace that high-risk style. My honest opinion. If the price stays reasonable, I'm in. Because we cannot go into 2026 with the exact same cornerback group and expect different results. We need upside. We need athleticism. We need someone who can match up with the elite receivers in this conference. And at 26 years old, Woolen fits the timeline of this team perfectly. Jordan Love is entering his prime. The defense is stacked up front. Now the secondary needs that final piece. This isn't a desperation move. This would be a strategic swing on talent. And sometimes championships are won by betting on traits and development, not just safe options. So now I want to hear from you, Packers Nation. Would you sign Rick Woolen? Or is he too risky for your liking? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. Packers Nation. Now let me ask you something. What if the Packers doubled down on the pass rush and paired Micah Parsons with a former Defensive Player of the Year? Yeah, I'm talking about a move that would make every offensive coordinator in the NFC lose sleep. But before we dive into this one, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to Packers Nation Report, and help us hit our massive goal of 2,000 subscribers. We're building the strongest green and gold community on YouTube, and I want you part of it. All right, let's talk about this rumor. Packers urge to target Khalil Mack. The Green Bay Packers are coming off a 9-7-1 season. Solid? Yes. Satisfying? Not really. We got bounced in the wild card round by the Chicago Bears, and that still doesn't sit right with me. Now the front office heads into free agency, which opens March 11th, looking at how to take this defense to another level. And even though we added Micah Parsons, there's an argument to be made. The pass rush still isn't good enough. The numbers don't lie. Let's break it down. Green Bay finished tied for 20th in sacks, 36 tied for 8th in hurries, 61 tied for 6th in pressures, 159 tied for 5th in QB knockdowns, 62. So what does that tell us? We're close, we're getting pressure, but we're not finishing consistently. Now imagine adding a proven closer. The name being suggested, Khalil Mack. Pro Football Focus suggested the Packers target Khalil Mack, formerly of the Los Angeles Chargers. And before you say it, yes, he's 34, turning 35. But let's look at the production. In 12 games last season, 32 tackles, 6 tackles for loss 5. 5 sacks, 23 pressures, 6 QB knockdowns. He also posted 79, 2 overall PFF grade 77, 2 run defense grade 13, 2% pass rush win rate. That's still high-level efficiency. This isn't a washed veteran. This is a rotational weapon. The Parsons plus Mack effect. Now let's talk football. Parsons had 12, 5 sacks, and 12 tackles for loss before tearing his ACL in Week 15. If he returns healthy, and that's a key if, pairing him with Mack changes everything. You can't double both. You can't slide protection to both. You can't chip both every snap. It forces offenses into one-on-one situations across the line. And that's when guys like Van Ness and Wyatt start eating too. That's how you go from 36 sacks to 45 plus. That's how you become a top 5 pass rush. The contract question. Spot Rack projects max market value around $18.4 million. Now here's the key. Because of his age, this would likely be short-term, 2 years, maybe even 1. That fits perfectly with a win-now window after trading for Parsons. This wouldn't be a rebuild move. This would be a statement move. The risk. Let's be honest, he's almost 35. Parsons is coming off an ACL. You can't rely on age forever. But championship defenses always mix elite youth with veteran savvy. And Mack brings playoff experience, leadership, and the kind of presence that young defenders learn from instantly. You don't just sign stats, you sign impact. If the price stays reasonable and it's short-term, I love it. Because here's the truth, the NFC is loaded with elite quarterbacks. If we want to compete in January, we have to pressure them without blitzing. Parsons is a monster, but he can't do it alone. Adding Khalil Mack tells the league one thing. Green Bay isn't satisfied with pretty good. We're trying to dominate. This offseason is about taking a good defense and making it scary. Mack might not be the long-term answer, but he could absolutely be the missing piece for 2026. Now I want to hear from you. Would you sign Khalil Mack? Or would you rather invest in younger pass rushers? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate it. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to Packers Nation Report, and help us reach that incredible 2,000 subscriber milestone. This is Victor, Go Pack Go.